Dark clouds filled the sky as villagers hurried to secure their homes and crops. Fear lingered in the air, memories of past floods haunting their minds. Elders murmured warnings, while mothers rushed their children indoors. The silence before the storm was heavy. Nature's warning had arrived. Rain poured endlessly. Dusty roads turned to rivers. Villagers waded through muddy waters, clutching their belongings. Children stayed home from school, their paths submerged. Shops shuttered as life halted. Each drop of rain carried both danger and despair, turning the familiar into an unpredictable floodplain. The storm grew fierce. Old mud walls cracked, then crumbled under the pressure. Families ran for safety, clutching one another as roofs collapsed. A father stood frozen before the ruins of his home, holding his child close. Rain mixed with tears of shock, fear, and helplessness. Stagnant water pooled everywhere, breeding sickness. Children fell ill with fever and cough. Clinics overflowed, medicine ran low, and nurses worked without rest. A mother sat helpless, fanning her son's hot forehead, waiting for care that might never come. The rain was no longer just water. It was a threat. Fields once green and full of promise were now underwater. Crops drowned, roots rotted, and food vanished. A farmer knelt in sorrow, his hands sinking into ruined soil. Months of hard labor swept away in days. Hunger loomed over the village like the rain clouds that wouldn't leave. Children's laughter disappeared from classrooms. Rainwater dripped from broken roofs onto soaked books and empty benches. Chalkboards remained untouched. Learning paused as survival took priority. A young boy sat alone, staring at his open notebook, dreams momentarily drowned by the rising water. Once bustling markets stood deserted. Stalls sagged under soaked tarps. Fruits rotted in puddles. Sellers abandoned their goods, seeking shelter. Families returned home empty-handed. Hunger and silence replaced the noise of bargaining. Even the aroma of spices faded, washed away by the unrelenting storm.
Roads vanished under muddy floodwaters. People waited cautiously, afraid of hidden dangers beneath the surface. A motorbike tipped, a child slipped. What once connected villages now trapped them.
Travel meant risk. Each step a gamble with injury, disease, or worse. The rain turned paths into prisons. Rain battered rooftops through the night. Families huddled on soaked floors, praying their shelters would hold. Children cried in the dark, afraid of leaking ceilings and creeping water. Sleep became a luxury. Lightning flashed, thunder rolled, and fear wrapped the village tighter than any blanket. With crops destroyed and markets shut, food became scarce. A mother divided a handful of grain between her hungry children. Each bite was precious. Stomachs growled in silence, and eyes pleaded without words. The rain not only soaked the earth, it starved the soul. Under a makeshift shelter, the village elder spoke. His voice, hoarse yet commanding, warned of worse rains to come. "This is not the season we knew," he said. Youth listened intently, soaking in his wisdom. The time had come, not just to survive, but to prepare. Amid suffering, compassion bloomed. A girl tore her bread in half for a crying boy. Neighbors shared shelter, warmth, and blankets. The rain tested their strength, but revealed their humanity. Kindness became currency, traded in smiles, in gestures, in hope. At last, help arrived. Aid workers carried sacks of rice, blankets, and medicine through the mud. Faces lit up, smiles returned. A child held a new blanket-like treasure. Though clouds still hovered, hope stepped into the village. On tired feet, with generous hands, the rain eased and the village rose. Men lifted new walls, women mixed mud, and children fetched water. Everyone worked, rebuilding piece by piece. Their hands were calloused, but their spirits strong. From ruin they created renewal. The storm had passed, but their unity remained. The sun broke through. Children played in puddles, laughter echoing through the clean air. Clothes danced on the line. Piles simmered with fresh food. Life returned slowly, joyfully. The village, battered but not broken, stood tall beneath a brighter sky.